Today, I'm going to show you an overview of what you can do with Market Nomad. When you first sign in, you'll be presented with a pretty empty screen, but we will quickly see how it'll populate with data. When you select an area on the map, the graphs will populate with the information for the selected area. As I scroll down, you'll see that there's a lot of information that we can use to help us find a good market, such as population, households, household income, median house value, vacancy, and much, much more. So how do we use this information to help us find a market? Let's start our journey off looking at regions and working our way down. As you can see, when I click on a region, you will immediately see the grading system down below. These grades follow pretty standard recommendations in the real estate investor community. These grades are very useful for investors that are just starting out. You can use them to quickly identify a growing market. However, for more seasoned investors, you might want to ignore the grades as they might not apply to your investing criteria. For example, if you are looking at a stable market, population growth might not be a priority for you. We all know that the South is rapidly growing, and it looks like the grading system validates what everyone has been telling us. However, for this example, let's try to find a market that you might not hear about from other investors. Let's go ahead and take a look at the West region. You can see the big red F for house value growth. Don't let this grade scare you away. A region covers a lot of area, and I'm pretty sure that there are some great hotspots in here for investing. It's time to narrow our search by looking at divisions. It looks like the West region is divided into two options: the Pacific Division and the Mountain Division. The Pacific Division looks like it's struggling a little bit with house value growth, and the Mountain Division is doing a little bit better. Let's go ahead and continue our search using the Mountain Division. Once again, let's narrow our search by looking at the state level. As you can see, many of the states are doing great based on the grading system. I don't know about you, but I don't hear much about Montana. The job growth is doing well with a growth of 1.73% over the last 8 quarters. I think we should continue our search here. The next step is to identify a metro or micropolitan statistical area. It looks like we have a few of them here in Montana. Billings is looking good. Great Falls, not so hot. Kalispell is also looking good. How about we continue our search there? The next step in our search is to look at counties. This time, instead of zooming in, we're going to do a quick search that'll take us right to the county. As we look at some of the surrounding counties, we will notice that Flathead County is where the sweet spot is. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of the graphs for Flathead County. It looks like the population is consistently rising and doesn't look like it was affected during the 2008 housing crisis. I wanted to quickly highlight population density. There's been a lot of talk about the COVID crisis causing migration away from bigger cities. I just wanted to point out that you can use this as one of your criteria when trying to find a market, if that is something that concerns you. Continuing on, Household income seems to be pretty steady, with some pretty good increases in the last couple of years. It looks like house value is following the same trends as household income, with a couple increases in the last couple of years. Taking a look at vacancy, the data shows us that it's been pretty consistent over the last 10 years, hovering around 20%. This would be a good opportunity to do more in-depth research to find out why vacancy is so high. Unemployment seems to be pretty low in the past couple of years. This is definitely a good sign that most people will have a job in this area. What do you think the median age in the low 40s is telling us? Could it be that nobody has kids? Or maybe all the kids move away? Or could this market be a perfect place for retirement or vacation rentals? Taking a look at the total jobs, we can start to see a pattern forming. In the second quarter of each year, there's an uptick in jobs, but it ends up declining throughout the year. Then every year, it seems to repeat the same behavior. Do you think this could be showing us signs of a good vacation rental market? Looking at net jobs, we can start to see another pattern emerge. It follows very similar, where Q2 it spikes, and then the rest of the year it declines. As you can see, there's a lot of information that starts to paint a story about this area. For example, my hypothesis right now is that we have found a great vacation area. Do I know that this area is great for vacations? Nope. But if I was targeting vacation rentals, I would want to do more research and validate my hypothesis. Continuing on with our search, let's take a dive and look at the city level. A quick glance around the surrounding cities shows us that Kalispell and its neighbor Evergreen are where the increases are happening. Let's go ahead and take one more dive and continue our search at the Census Tract level. For this tract, the population growth doesn't appear great. The total population, however, is only 2,062, so it probably wouldn't require a whole lot to make that percentage go to the good or the bad extreme. However, looking at the population trends, we can start to create a story. It looks like this area might have been hit hard by the housing crisis, but it recovered a few years later. But I do wonder why there was another drop in 2017. What do you think the cause was? At least it appears to be rebounding in 2018. Continuing on, it appears like the center of Kalispell is struggling with population growth, but the outskirts are doing great. Based on the information that we've seen so far, this area could be a great place to invest in, depending on your investment criteria. Now you might say, I already have a market chosen to invest in. How can this tool help me out? I'm going to quickly grab an address from LoopNet. As a quick disclaimer, I'm not endorsing LoopNet or the property in this address. I am just using this address as an example only. As you can see, this property is located in a census tract that we previously identified as a potential good market. See how quick that was? When you use this tool, you can quickly validate a property is located in a good part of your market before you even consider doing a quick underwriting analysis. I hope you can see how much time this tool can save you with your research. I wish you all the best of luck in your market research. Thanks for watching!